with what you're going to need to do paint pouring. I've been using wax paper, but I'm low on it, and I started to go leave and get it today, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to use these cheap trash bags because they're going to cover it really even better because it takes 2 sheets. So I am going to tape it on. Usually so I'm just going to tape this on here. These are some really nice trays. If you don't have trays, you can use box lids. We use a 9x12 canvas, but I kind of wish I'd gone a little smaller, and then I could just use box lids, and maybe more people could do it at the time. But I have 6 of these. I have 4 kids that do it.
Where'd you get your trays from?
You know, these were here. I wish I could tell you. Okay. It says NASCO.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they're from NASCO. But I haven't been able to find them. Probably look up the wrong name. So the other things you need, I use a lot of these, and these are great for like dispensing your paint, especially the dishwashing liquid containers. I mean, you can just, they don't stop up.
That's wonderful.
They don't, because they got the little thing in it. So I just mix it. I usually mix the paint in one of these, and then you need water, paint, of course, and Floetrol. Floetrol is the same thing as the paint pouring medium. They sell it at Lowe's, Home Depot, and they have it up here at the hardware store. If your school has an account at the hardware store, they'll sell it there. It's a paint additive that, who knew?
I use it on my walls,
decrease, flow, like the marks that the roller makes and the brush strokes.
Show up on the wall.
I had no idea.
No.
Never heard of
This is a painter's secret.
Oh, yeah.
But it makes your paint flow better, so I'm sure it really, the paint that we're using is mostly Floetrol. I usually will measure it out, get about 1 cup of the Floetrol. If I need a lot, like my white, I'll make 2 cups at a time with the Floetrol. So I love these little things. They get it all out. I got those when I was doing paper mache, and I let the kids mix their own. So I'll put about a 1/2 cup of color. Or you did 2. That's a cup, right? And I did a 1/2 cup.
That's a cup.
So I found that if you put it in here first and try to shake it up, it won't really mix very well.
Okay.
It mixes much better if you just put it in a bigger container. You just add a little water. I don't measure it. Different people told me different things. So I just put a little water until I feel like, and I'll mix it until I feel it's the right consistency. Yeah. Till it's
I know it's water.
kind of syrupy.
Can you like drip it? There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I might need a little more.
Oh.
Sometimes I've got too much water in some, and it's made such a beautiful effect.
So there's really no right or wrong. It's just
Yeah,
that's good. It's forgiving.
it is. It is. So. 4 push pins. This has worked the best. I've tried putting the cups under. It's just messy.
Oh,
So
that's
kind of
smart.
turn and twist. Put the push pins in there. The kids have a hard time doing it, but I tell them just turn and twist. You don't have to get it all the way in, but they get it done. And these are just 5th graders that I'm doing this with. So now it's raised up off of the plastic. So then I cut these pieces of cardboard so they can spread it. Make sure they put their gloves on because I just scrubbed my hands good because I did not put my gloves on earlier. It was a mistake, and it dried. And then you have to just about peel it off. That makes very dramatic effect. As far as their palettes, I've made all these examples and I've shown the kids, okay, this is what it looks like. They'll always go with what colors I've picked. Think of a theme. Like, is it, you want it to look like spring? Do you want it to remind you of the beach? I got an Aurora Borealis, a Northern Lights theme, which is black and purple and green and pink. I tell them they have to pick one base color, which would be black or white. So the base color goes on first.
And that's what you're spreading now is the base color?
Yeah, so I use these little cups, and a lot of people use like little Dixie cups, the bathroom cups. Make sure they keep, you have somewhere to put these that won't be on the table. And so, this tends to start separating if you don't use it. So I fill the cup up. To stay on one side of the color wheel. I felt that is the safest bet.
Yeah.
So they don't get
Muddy
too many
colors,
grays.
right.
Yeah. So I mean, if they stay on the same side of the color wheel, they're good. So I've got a green, I've got a orangey. So I need to go with a. Ooh, I'm getting on the other side of the color wheel, aren't I? One kid chose some colors the other day, and I was like, oh no, that's going to be horrible. And it was awesome. I didn't tell him I thought it would be horrible. I was like, oh, okay. I should have learned that long ago. Okay, so with the black, I think this is going to be very dramatic. So, okay, so I tell him, take this, just spread it as evenly as you can. Go ahead and dig it out with your finger. And I say, have you ever iced a cake? So you don't want to scrape it off. You want to ice it. So we're just going to spread it out with the cardboard. And I have a big cutter, and I cut cardboard with my big paper cutter.
That's what I do too.
It works. It doesn't hurt it. And they do make a bigger mess. A lot of them, they just pour it all on. So you need to get started. I tell them you can't delay. You go ahead and you have to get started. The next decision they have to make is how they're going to pour it. This is like a dirty pour, is what they call it, a dirty pour. So you're not doing anything special. Oh, I forgot one thing. If you want to use, you can't see it now, this is silicone oil. If you want to use it, it's fine. It'll make sails. It makes sails better if you have a heat gun. So I am going to put a little bit. I found it creates some. It only needs like a few drops, and it's pretty cheap. It's like that was like $3. And
Where do you buy that?
I bought that at Home Depot.
At Home Depot.
So you probably
Silicone oil?
silicone oil.
Okay.
It's non-toxic. It's in lots of things. My hair. I hope you don't have get my face in this. Okay. So you have to make a decision about how you're. One of the best ones I've done, I just poured it any way I wanted. So kind of I'm just gonna try that. Sometimes kids, they'll leave a little. Say if you want to leave a little in there, that's okay. So that if you need a little bit more in one area, then you can do that. So I'm leaving a little bit of that pink. I don't want it to overwhelm it. So these colors are looking pretty good. And take it up and just start tilting it. And tilt it however you want it to go and
Make
flow.
you keep it on the tray. Like,
Make sure you keep it over this tray. Sorry. You see how it's moving? Moving around.
that's cool.
Yeah. Getting a little bit too many big spots over there, but I gotta get over the edge. I want it over the edge. It just drips off. Now, I probably could add a little more water to this stuff. A lot of times the silicone oil, you won't see it now, but as it dries, it'll
Can you
start
take a
popping
comb
up.
and go through it?
Huh?
Could you use a comb and go through it too?
You could. You can. People will. They pour it all different kinds of ways, and
Yeah.
you could. They'll take. They'll pour colors on top of each other,
I've seen some of that.
and then
One
they'll
cup.
like swipe it.
Yeah.
But I tried that. I didn't have very much success. I'm kind of liking. See how it's not flowing as easily as it was.
It's starting to slow down.
It's starting to slow down and starting to dry. So that's kind of cool right there. So I'm happy. I said, just do it, you know, tilt it until you're happy with it and put it down and be done. So there it is.